Good morning. I always say good morning, don't I? That's my morning. Good whatever it is for you. Welcome. I think this morning, let's start with some chanting. So just get yourself into your meditation postures. I did say a little bit about chanting previously, and as a sort of meditation practice as well as a devotional practice. Um, in alchemy, the alchemists were often known as the master or mistress of the fire because most of the alchemical operations require heat. And very interesting how they talk about heat in alchemy. They have some lovely images. They talk about the heat of a brooding hen or the heat of fresh horse's dung and things like this. So they have these very imaginative descriptions of heat rather than numbers, rather than temperatures, which gives us a kind of clue into the nature of alchemy as an art rather than a science in a way. And I think that's quite an interesting thing for us as meditators these days. To some extent, I feel that meditation is getting pushed more and more into a kind of medical, scientific model. And I'm sure there's some good things about that. But essentially, I think meditation is much more about engaging our imagination. This is because the language of the unconscious, if you like, is the language of image and imagination. We have this very useful, rational part of our mind, which is, extremely useful if we want to manipulate the world. I'm not using manipulate in a negative sense there, but just simply, it's very useful for manipulating the world. But I wonder at heart whether, well, that's an interesting phrase I use now, I wonder at heart, isn't it? That, probably what we're trying to do in meditation is not this manipulation of the world. There's something quite different going on, and perhaps it's a way of trying to imagine the world. And by imagine, I don't mean make up, I mean receive the sort of subjective qualities of the world into our heart, qualities of kind of beauty and wonder, and even, I know we're Buddhists, but I struggle to find words other than the sort of divine or sacred nature of the world. So meditation, I don't think, is about increasing our utilitarian power over the world. It seems to me that more and more it's about feeling that intimacy and connection with the world. What do we share? I'm sitting here. I'm in London. I'm sitting here, my front room, and I can hear a little bird singing out. I'm not very good at what song goes with which bird, but I can hear a bird singing, and that's like my front room. But I just hear. Anyway, reminds me of the E. Cummins poem, isn't there? May my heart always be open to little birds who are the secret of living. whatever they sing is better than to know. And when men do not hear them, men are old. May my mind roam about, hungry and fearless, and thirsty and supple. And even if it's Sunday, may I be wrong. For whenever men are right, they are no longer young. And may I myself do nothing usefully, but love thyself so much more than truly. There's never been quite such a fool who could fail, pulling the whole sky over him with just one smile. So, for me, meditation is, I think, primarily this desire to open into the world, and to feel and find my place, or my calling. Why am I here? What is the point? Why has the universe decided, if we can use that language, why has the world decided to manifest in me? Why has reality decided to manifest in you? What's going on there? And I don't mean a scientific answer to that, although that might be very interesting. I mean, well, I'm not sure what I mean really, but perhaps you get a little sense of what this longing that I think we all have, which I think in a way is the longing to belong, to feel beloved by the world as well. So we were gonna chant, weren't we? But I got distracted by that little bird singing out there. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the alchemists were known as the mistress or the master of the fire because it was through the regulation of the fire that they controlled the reaction of the metals and chemicals. And one of the major things about meditation is kind of learning how to use appropriate effort, which in a way, along with emotion, is the sort of equivalent to the eating, the energy, the effort we put into meditation is the equivalent to the fire element in the operation of alchemy, or we can make that equivalent. And one of the good things about chanting, particularly chanting out loud, is it gives you a very tangible way to work with effort. What happens in chanting, if you try too hard, if you kind of pushing it, you get exhausted. And on the other hand, if there's not enough effort there, you just kind of lose interest. It just sort of fades away. It's also quite tiring in a way. And, you've got to find that sort of sweet spot, that just using just enough effort to be really engaged, but not willful. You're not going over the edge. You're starting to kind of push it. And so chanting gives you a kind of tangible way of starting to learn or starting to feel into having a better, maybe a more sensitive relationship with the effort that you've made, in the type of effort. Because in alchemy, it's quite interesting. There's not just fire. There's different types of fire depending what it's produced by. They used to use a lot of charcoal to do the heating, but the charcoal made from different trees according to the alchemists, have quite different properties. You know, they're strong. You know, if they're made from one tree or another, they will have a different type, not a different temperature, but a different type of heat. So again, this is quite a nice way of starting to think about the effort we make. You know, there's a sort of quantity, but there's also a quality of effort that we can make. And chanting just gives us a way of kind of exploring that in an experiential sense. You know. Anyway, we're going to chant. We'll go back to Amitabha. Done this before if you were there for that session. So we'll start today by chanting the Amitabha mantra, which we've kind of chosen as our guiding deity for this particular journey, if you like. Just as the alchemist would invoke a figure to guide them. Okay, so get yourselves comfortable. Here's I don't know why I wanted to tell you this, but this mala, actually a Vajrapani mala, in a way, because it was given to me. It was given to me in 86 by Jinananda when he came back from Tuscany after his ordination. I was ordained the year before in 85 and took up the sadhana of a Rothful Vajrapani, and he went a year later and also took up the Vajrapani sadhana. And when he came back, someone had made him this mala on Tuscany. I think they were still in Tuscany. Maybe they were Gucci local that night. Anyway, he gave it to me. And Jinananda died, I suppose, 2 years ago now. It seems incredible, you know. So I don't know what I'm talking about, Jinananda. He was very good meditation teacher, but he was also a very good editor, and he edited a lot of Sangha books. Particularly the more readable ones, it must be said, in my mind. Anyway, enough of that. Anyway, I'll count out the mantras on this mala, and when we get to 108, I'll ring the bell and we'll stop. So just try and, well, why we do this, just try and find the right sort of quality and kind of effort, yeah? If you can feel into that. Okay, let's start by just releasing our legs as normal. I might give a little talk about the legs if we get time, because they're so important in meditation. It's hard to overemphasize the importance of releasing the legs. I won't go on about that at the moment. So making nice, strong contact with the earth through your sitting bones and the parts of your body in contact with the floor. And releasing the head upwards. Let's just go to the base of your skull at the back there. Just very gently see if you can ease the skull away from the spine a little bit. This probably means you're just dropping the chin very slightly. So you create a little kind of, for the feeling of a little bit of space between the base of the skull and the spine. In some shamanic practices, this is known as the ancestral gate, that little opening there, that little feeling of there being a little space between the base of your skull and your spine, known as the ancestral gate. In there, the various practices where you imagine sort of breathing up through the base of the skull. But It was sort of it's very gently stretching, pushing the back of the skull up towards the ceiling, and at the same time trying to let the head find its natural balance on the top of the spine, its natural poise. Which means a lot of people, there's a little bit of the sort of head tends to be pulled back a little bit, particularly when we talk or sing or chant. We tend to have this tendency to pull the head back and sort of close. Means we sort of close that ancestral gate at the back. I don't know if that's helpful to you, but another way is just imagining a very slight weight on the end of your nose. Just sort of let your head, front, your sort of face drop a little bit, the chin drop a little bit. So the crown is the highest point. You know? Crown is the highest point, not this sort of front of the forehead. Anyway, and feel into the spine a little. So as you drop your pelvis, you release the head up, a gentle stretching in the spine, a gentle elongation in the spine, and a soft way. Amitabha is red, this lovely, rich, dark red. Very strong association with the heart and love. We'll get on to the heart. I hope it's so important and it takes a long time to really, well, I'm talking from my own experience. It takes a long time to really begin to love ourselves in the way it seems to me necessary. This cherishing of our own being as a reflection of a cherishing for the world, for just existence. This deep love that we need to have for ourselves in order that we can love the world. It seems to me a lot, maybe that's me, but it's a long, long journey, long, not one worth undertaking. Anyway, Amitabha, deep meditation and deep love. So I chant away, you can just join in, hopefully enjoying your own body capacity to make sound and enjoying the vibrational nature of chanting around the heart area, perhaps in particular. Om Amideva Hri. Om Amideva Hri. Om Amideva Hri. Om Amideva Hri. Om Amideva 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 Amideva. Om 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 Amideva 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 Om Amideva. So we just sit with the effect of that for a little while. Just try and stay with the kind of physicality of the experience, of energetic feelings in the body, perhaps particularly the belly and the heart there. What would it feel like for the heart to open to the world? What does that even mean? What does it feel like? What does your heart feel like? Just breathe in and out, circulating the world through the body. Like soft space, always softening. Maybe just noticing where your attention is energetically, where's all in your head. See if you can just let it drop down through the throat, heart, lung, whole kind of complex there, the heart nexus in the body there. The breath naturally takes you down into the lungs, the heart, the diaphragm, the belly there. It's a matter of kind of relaxing and allowing yourself to drop most editions, this is kind of the imagined location of the, what can we call it, big mind or positive for the self and the Jungian. The true, authentic for the self is often imagined in the heart or even a bit lower. Of meditators, this shift from kind of imagining ourselves somehow in the skull or the brain to making the heart the kind of center of self. Seems to me very useful. The language of the heart is much more feeling and image than a rational argument. So we don't meditate to have an argument with ourselves or anybody else. We meditate to kind of move towards the energetics of experience, the feelings, the energy behind all that mental activity. It's driven by something, isn't it? A nice soft face. Let your face relax a bit more. Your body is always expressed in you completely, really. Let your face relax, soften. May my heart always be open to little birds who are the secret of living. Whatever they sing is better than to know. To me, be in the heart, trust the heart. Does it feel like your own time, you can move to resting, just laying down. Again, try and do this as simply as possible. Sure you're warm enough. You can just curl up. No need to maintain any alertness or awareness. Just try and let go of yourself as if you trust the earth that you lay upon. Getting yourself comfortable. Even the weight of your head in particular to the ground. but just laying still. Just gathering yourself, as it were, before you move. Maybe just remembering anything that might have happened while you've been laying down. Let's before we actually move, let's imagine making that transition from laying down back to sitting. Just imagine doing it. Imagine doing it very calmly, easily, no rush. And then when you feel ready, you can make the transition back to your meditation postures. So you're just settling back into your meditation posture. Okay, we're going to do a very simple kind of meditation based around the heart. So one of the ways we work with the energetics of the body is just with this, what can we call it? I tend to call it the imaginal breath or a subtle breath, which we link or kind of harness to our normal breathing, so it keeps it kind of embodied. So the first thing we're going to do is just come to our normal breathing. So we know when we're breathing in, and this knowing is a felt, sensationally based knowing. It's not primarily an idea. It might have an idea to support it, that's fine. You can have the idea, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, if that's necessary. But what we're interested in the feeling of breathing. What does it feel like to have a breathing body? The coolness of the air, perhaps, coming in through the nostrils, down through the throat. Where do you lose the breath? The breath just kind of becomes a body, doesn't it? Breath has got some kind of independent existence in the nostrils, maybe, possibly in the throat. But after that, what are you really feeling? What are you really feeling? You're feeling movement under your scapula there, your shoulder blade. You're feeling movement in the rib cage, in the lungs. Feeling movement in the back, in the spine. You're feeling movement in the diaphragm there. Maybe you're even feeling movement in the pelvic floor if you're very attentive. So you're feeling your breathing body. So when we approach the breath in this way, it's really the mindfulness of our breathing body. Because we're not objectifying the breath into an object of concentration in this style of meditation. So the whole body breathes, doesn't it? I can feel the breath in my legs, muscles fluffing up slightly on the in-breath. Of course, the breath goes in the blood and around every cell in your body. So anyway, we're just settling into our breath. So we're feeling when we're breathing in and feeling when we're breathing out. A soft face as you do this. There's nothing to do really. It's just the breathing's just a given, isn't it? So we're not really doing anything at all. In fact, we're doing less, ideally. We're just stopping all that thinking that inhibits our awareness of our body breathing, which is always there and available to us. So breathing in, breathing out. So what we're going to do when you're ready, we're going to imagine this kind of secondary breath. We're going to imagine breathing in. As we breathe in, we're going to imagine this secondary breath. Breathing in through the back of the heart area and out the front of the heart on the in-breath. And in through the front of the heart on the in-breath and out through the back of the heart on the out-breath. And in through the back of the heart on the in-breath and out through the front of the heart on the out-breath. And so on. So we breathe out and in on the same side. So this lateral breath going through the heart, stabilized by our normal and a more vertical breath. And we're just going to try and stay with that in a very simple way. And when you notice that you're starting to having lots of ideas, that's fine. Just relax the face and soften them down. We're kind of just interested, staying with the heart. So this is both a way of kind of waking the heart up if our experience of coming to the heart is a bit numb, or maybe even a way of calming the heart if it's a bit wild, a bit too unruly. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. So start with a nice soft face, soft hands. Hands and the heart have a kind of energetic connection. So let's make sure your hands are soft and relaxed, but alive. feeling when you breathe in and when you breathe out, and then just gently imagining drawing this other breath through the heart laterally, the back to the front, and in from the front, out the back, in from the back, out the front, in from the front, out the back, and so on. But very simple, just try and keep it really simple, staying with your breath and your heart. Have a bell in about 30 minutes. Right. Just noticing what you're doing, what's happening. You need to just come back to the heart breathing. Breathe in the whole world into the heart. And release it back. Trees, the animals, the people. Whatever your heart imagines. Face relax, the legs relax. Breathing, the body breathing, heart breathing. Just feel like attend to your heart. So just noticing what's happening. Just remember the world around us, sky above us, earth below us. Just sort of gradually just relax any effort you're making. You're not trying to do anything at all. Allow the posture to give structure, form, and just relax fully as possible. And just notice what's there, what's left when you stop trying to do anything. Just feel like maybe it feels confusing or frightening, pleasant, just whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, just noticing what happens when you stop willing yourself into being, as it were. What's left? The world, the breathing body. That's the face. And then very gently just allow yourself from your heart to be aware of the people you're sitting with today. As though you were in separate spaces. When we do that laying down together in a shrine room, it can feel very kind of tribal in a sense. It's very kind of intimate. Of course, it's a bit different, isn't it? But let's just see if we can connect with each other from the heart, offering support to one another, allowing yourself to be supported by the other people, offering your support to them. May my heart always be open to little birds, who are the secret of living. Whatever they sing is better than to know, and when men do not hear them, men are old. May my mind roam around hungry and fearless and thirsty and supple. And even if it's Sunday, may I be wrong. For whenever men are right, they are no longer young. May I myself do nothing usefully. In love thyself so much more than truly. There's never been quite such a fool who could fail, pulling the whole sky over him with just one smile. So we'll leave it there for this morning, my morning, and be back at 7 this evening. Hope you have a nice day or evening or night or whatever it is for you. And, hopefully see some of you later.
Thank you so much. May you all have a peaceful day and be kind to yourselves.